I want to make sure this isn't too loud. Yes, I'm troubleshooting right now. I don't know how to join my own chat. Um, thank you for letting me know. Because again, this is just a test. I'm trying this microphone out. Still no sound. I know that like as I'm reading the chat, we're on a little delay right now. Oh, we're good now? Oh my gosh, I was so worried. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so sorry about that. Thank you for joining me today. This is my first live on my channel. I'm not here with my counterpart Bridget Casey. And this isn't an Altenew feed. I'm just using Altenew products today. But I have a completely new setup here in my craft room, as you can see behind me. And I just want to see if my craft room can handle the bandwidth of the new microphone that I have, the camera. I have a completely different computer setup. And yeah, so I just really want to make sure before I go formally live with other opportunities that everything's set up correctly. Um, so thank you. Thank you for joining me today. Although this is a test, I do plan on making a card today. I just don't know how much I'll be talking. It feels, um, maybe I'm not so used to it. You know, I'm not Kathy Zelsky. I'm not Jennifer McGuire. So, I know they're much more fluid with interacting with everybody, but I do have the chat open. I am watching it. So if you have questions along the way, please feel free to ask. So video is okay, audio is okay. Let me know. I'll be checking on the chat today. But otherwise, I'm going to switch the camera down and we'll get started today. Thank you. Again, thank you so much for joining me.
Where is my overhead camera? Oh, I think I know what it is. You guys. We're just learning, okay? This is all a learning process for me. Alrighty, let me make sure that the focus is locked. Great. So what I'll be using today is from the Altenew 2025 August release. This is the Build a Garden Rose Reverie set. And what I love about this set, and all of this, I'll try to point out what's new, and I do have a few items linked in the description box. It is echoey. I do have to put something, I think, in front of me to counteract that, or maybe you might be getting two audio feeds. Let me fix that. I know what's going on. You all should be just getting one feed now, and hopefully it's from my microphone. Please let me know, yeah. We are just learning. Technology. If you've ever joined any of my other lives on Altenew, it's just, if it's not one thing, it's another thing. Okay. Let me know. Ah, goodness, thank you. So these are the new 6.5 by 8.5 inch pockets, and I love that because they fit the 4x6 stamp sets perfectly. And I do have another example. They do fit the embossing folders. This is also new for the August 2025 release. I hope to be getting more of these myself. But like I mentioned, this is Build a Garden Rose Reverie, the outline stamp set, die set, and the stencil set. And I think this time the die set is not an add-on, so it does come in the bundle. So for those of you who love coordinating dies, this one does come with it this time. And, you know, I'll be honest, I kind of don't have a plan for this card. The Altenew 2025 blog hop is tomorrow, and I haven't made any of my projects. So I was hoping let's go live, number one, and then number two, I'll make projects, at least one of them on live today, so I can test on my live feed, and then also make my projects for the blog hop tomorrow. So procrastination, it's great. Great bundle. I agree. I love this Rose Reverie stamp set. And when I first saw this stamp set, it did remind me of a rose that I previously had in my garden, which I'll show you in just a moment on my phone. But that's where I drew the inspiration for this color palette. And I'm kind of just winging once I get the focal elements in, I'm hoping that everything will also fall into place. And that's really just my creative process when I'm just making things for my own blog and things like that. So, or anytime that I post on Instagram, which is where I'm the most active. So aside from the bundle, I'll set that aside for a moment. I knew I was going to attempt to do a little bit of no outline coloring today, kind of. So I stamped this 4¼ by 5½ inch panel in permanent gray, permanent mist gray, just to get a little faint outline. I won't be using this entire image on today's card or this outline image. I'll be focusing on maybe 1 or 2 flowers. I don't know. We'll see. And then I die cut this element and then stamped it with Obsidian Pigment Ink. So great black ink just to get a nice solid outline on this fine stamp set. So this one I will set aside as well. I won't be using it quite yet, and so it'll make an appearance later. And thank you. It's good to be back to post on my own channel. I've always really avoided going live because at the time, like, I wasn't really so confident. It is scary. It's scary to go live. Props to those of you who go live often. A lot of my Altenew friends do, and it's hard. I don't know how to manage this all by myself. Here's the chat. Here's my crafting. Here I am. Obviously the technology issues, but it's all right. Wednesday night. I just appreciate you all joining me today. So, okay. So I've stamped this outline in permanent mist gray, and I'm going to add it to my 9×12 sticky matte grid. And the inspiration for the palette that I'll be using today came from my garden in 2023. I had this rose. It went through like a, I don't know, like the frost did something to all my roses that previous or the following spring. So 2024, canes just like turned brown and it just really hurt this particular rose. But I think about it a lot because the color palette is really interesting. So it's got this taupe petal to it. It's like this tan, I guess, tan brown. And then the tips of the leaves, or the tips of the petals, sort of mature to this pale lavender and then eventually to like a light purple. So that's really where I'm trying to get the inspiration for the color palette today. And in my little bit of planning that I did before filming, I did match this to Altenew inks that I have in my little swatch book that I made myself. So for the overall impression that I got, I was feeling like this was a little bit of Woodland Escape. Oh, I'm sorry, and this is Coco Loco. I think somebody asked that. Maybe not yet. Coco Loco, it's a heirloom rose, zone 6 through 10 or whatever. It just did not do well. I'm in a zone 5, so maybe it just got too cold this one time and it zapped it. And it never really came back as good as it did the first year. But anyway, overall impression for tan, I'm thinking Woodland Escape. Maybe like deep areas are going to be redwood, more light areas in pink sand. And then when I was trying to think of like the lavender impression that I was getting on the tips of the petals, I was thinking more rose quartz, maybe. I didn't have a lot of pictures of this one because, yeah, the blooms were sparse and then I didn't really get a lot of pictures of it. So sad. I hope if I run across it again at the garden center maybe next year, I'll definitely be picking it up and trying again. So, yeah. Coco Loco is what we're going to do with that one. And on my outline, what I want to do is just create like a base fill of just the roses. I do use this in a perfect pairing soon. So you'll see this project come up in a different format. But now I'm using the Build a Garden stencil set that colors in the outline image. And I'll just go in numerical order. So I'm starting with stencil layer number 1 and aligning that to the open areas on my image. Let me see. Oops. Pink sand is one of my favorite colors. When Woodland Escape came out, I was just like for me, it was like a finally. Like I've been waiting for like a tan rose palette to come out with redwood, I think is the deepest color in here. Yeah, redwood. Just stunning. And I love it together. It's more of my vibe. Do I look red on the face camera? You guys, it is hot in my craft room. Like, I'm in Denver, Colorado, and it is 95, and I'm right above the garage. It's hot. Like, eventually, I think I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start sweating. So, it depends. I really hope we're not live too long. I'd like to give you all back a part of your day, but or evening, wherever you are. But it's, I really appreciate you joining me. So, um, so I do know that there are two rose images on here. I want this one to be slightly different than the large, more forward facing rose. Um, so I'm thinking that this rose right here on the bottom right in the cluster, or let me get this die set. Like this rose right here will be more of this color palette, like that deep, like it's not a mature form yet, because the mature rose is like very lavenderish, like pale, um, very purple. So I'm just gonna put in a base fill of that color. Let me get the right colors out. So let me start with pink sand. And I'm using my mini ink blending tools in the holder to fill this in. Which brush do I want to use? Actually, I'll use these ones. 103 Phoenix, that's inappropriate. That's too hot. Those of you in Vegas, no, that's too hot. Well, hopefully you're staying cool. My goodness. I was in Phoenix for scrapbook.com a few years ago, and it was November, and I left Colorado in like sweater weather, like winter clothes, and then I got to Phoenix, and I was obviously very overdressed. It was still so hot in Phoenix. But thank you for joining me today. There are so many of you. I was not expecting this, honestly. It's late on the East Coast, so seriously, I was not expecting so many people to join me today, so I really appreciate it. Again, this is pink sand, and I'm not trying to fill in these layers. I will be adding deeper fills of this color later. And I just want this, I want the focus of this card to be the flower petals, of course, and I want a lot of the effort to go into the coloring of the petals, and everything else will just be left as is. Oh, thank you for joining me from Hong Kong. Let's see, pink sand. I think we'll have to leave this color out for the next layer. So I'll do pink sand more towards the center or the inside of the flower. And then, what did I say for the other? Oh, rose petal, duh. So I'll be using that to fill in the tips of the petals. So I'll start light again with rose quartz. And another mini ink blending tool. And I'm applying this color on the tips of the petals. And those of you who are just joining, can you let me know if the quality of the video is good? Does it look clear? I don't look too grainy or anything. The video feed doesn't look too grainy. I could easily watch this back, but I know like as the live session happens, it might look different. So rose petal right at the tips of both of the flower images. And on this top rose that I know is sort of facing this way, I will deepen this area just a little bit with, I feel like Puffy Heart was too strong. Maybe I'll try Blushberry Bliss and Blush Rose. Just a little touch of that maybe. Oh no, see the face camera? I don't know if this is working for me, y'all. You can see the faces that I make as I'm crafting. And I'm trying to look at the screen at the same time. If we're talking about the same rose, Beverly, yeah, the Coco Loco was, of course, like a true hybrid tea rose, but then just, there was some like sugary sweetness element to it that I haven't been able to find again. Like I thought maybe I'd find something close. But maybe it just means if you know if I see it again, that's a sign, right? I have to get it again. Yeah, I think Puffy Heart. We're gonna try. You know what? It's a card, right? We're gonna try Blush Rose. Blush Rose is. Where is it? I'm looking through my caddy right now, trying to. I found it. Don't worry. I don't want too much of this. Oops. Just little touches of this on the tips of the petals. There we go. Okay. So the order I went in was Pink Sand, Rose Quartz, and Blush Rose. And I'll call that good for the first stencil. So that's the end result of that. Moving down in order, that's not stencil layer number 2, 3, 2. I hear like, so I was chatting with Mindy the last time we were at Concord and Ninth together, and you know I was really interested in this live format. Like I've done it as part of Altenew in retreats. I guess I've done it if I've been told, not so much told to, right? If the opportunity came up and like somebody else was hosting a live, like I would do it, right? But I've never really had the guts or the setup to really do it myself. You know, the process of setting up a nice live feed is kind of challenging. And you know, I work full time, so in my spare time I spent a lot of time trying to research how this was going to work. But hopefully it's, I mean, according to your comments, I'm seeing that the quality is good of the video, so I really appreciate that feedback. For those of you joining, these cards, I'm kind of testing the live feed to see if this is something I want to keep doing, right? If 7 p.m., 7:30, 7 p.m. on a Wednesday is feasible for my work schedule, because I'd hate to overcommit and I can't deliver. I really hate that. So, and it's just not me. You know, things come up, and for other people, I understand that. But just for myself, like if I can't deliver you a product that you ask me for, then I'd rather not do it. So in this case, right, I'm just trying to see, can I do this on a regular basis? Because I do miss the interactivity. I do miss, you know, I go live with Altenew maybe once or twice a year for Secret Garden retreat. Maybe some other retreats come up, or maybe I just go live with Bridget. You never know, you know, that's my counterpart. But yeah, as I was talking to Mindy, it seemed like the atmosphere, right, around content creating and what a lot of other people are doing is going live, and the interaction is always good. Pre-recorded videos are great. That was more of my vibe because I feel like I could plan it better, but yeah, you just get the interaction. Yeah, Erica, there is extra software. Luckily, what I use is OBS. It's open broadcasting software. I've watched so many. Thank goodness for the other side of YouTube where people just love posting tutorials because they post fabulous, fabulous tutorials on getting OBS set up, how to go live, and while I have, like I mentioned, I have gone live before in other settings. All of that information was set up for me. So all I had to do was essentially call in via Zoom and everything was set up, like my face and all of that. But now all the assets that you see are mine. So yeah, I didn't want my first live to be so terrible. Because then what if you guys don't come back? And then what's the point, right? So again, I appreciate you all being a part of my little test session here. Um, but that was really the whole goal, was to, number one, see how long this takes. And it wasn't so bad, the setup. Um, but at 7:25, I was just like, all right, I was just getting more and more nervous, you know? So that's rose quartz, pink sand. And again, on the top left rose, I'm going to use a little bit of blush rose just to deepen and distinguish the fact that this rose is slightly different than the other one. There we go. So just a little bit of distinction. I do plan on adding other details in a medium that I'm not sure about yet. I kind of just wanted to see how this went. Let's see, moving down stencil, now you're number 3. And I'll admit, like I did a little case study, you know, what do they call it? Field research on Kathy's channel, Kathy Zilski. Like I've seen many gamers, you know, I do a little bit of gaming every once in a while when I have time, but you know, they have the really sophisticated setups, and I saw Kathy stream, and she's got the nice little countdown, and of course she's a graphic designer, right? So she has all those assets and the skills to do that. But when you're just little old me, like I'm a card maker, and sometimes I go on YouTube, like making those are hard. Doing that is hard. And I know Jennifer has her brother help her. This is it. What you see, this is producer, director, content creator. Like that's all me. So I avoided it for a long time. Thank you for joining me, Carrie. Wednesday's a good evening. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this keeps going. I left work on time today, so that was a plus. I had a little bit of a plan of what I was doing, but I think now that I've got this all set up, like everything on my software is now set up to continuously go live, then maybe this is a perfect opportunity to do so. And I don't know if I mentioned all of these, some of the products that I planned on using today are in the description box. So if you do have any questions, the Altenew August 2025 release is out. So all those links should be working for you if you see anything that you like today. So layer of pink sand, tips in rose quartz. And one of the things I also feared about going live is that I didn't want people to think I wasn't going to post on Altenew's channel anymore. That's certainly not the case. So I took a long break from posting with my Perfect Pairings with Jaycee series on the Altenew YouTube channel. Several things happened. Well, I just encountered delays, and then I had a little situation with I purchased a new computer, so everything is new to handle the bandwidth of going live. So I bought a new computer with the intent of eventually going live, but I ran into shipping problems with that, and then I'm still kind of a little bit sick. So about a month and a half I didn't post on the Altenew YouTube channel, but I do have something scheduled, of course, every second and fourth Sunday, but I think my next perfect pairing is actually on Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 9th, I think. But yeah, I do love the video content. It's hard. Props to all the people who do content creation full-time, because it's a commitment. But it's fun. That's why I keep doing it, aside from my full-time job. Yeah, I haven't told Kathy yet. We went live for what was it? The Weekender with Spellbinders, and I admitted to her, I was just like, you have such a sophisticated setup, and of course, like, Kathy's such a joy to watch, so why wouldn't you watch her, first of all? But also, yeah, it was just like getting an idea of what to expect, sort of what she makes, and it's so natural, you know, and it's just fun to watch her. But that was ultimately like a little bit of what she did, like did sort of persuade me into really looking into this a lot deeper. And I have talked to Jennifer. When I was using my laptop to go live with Altenew, that's not what I'm doing right now, which is why the quality is drastically different. Her brother recommended that certain things for my connection, and it made such a big difference. The thing about me, maybe it's because I'm a Libra, right? I'm not gonna ask for help, so I'll just like suffer and look it up on my own or try to do my own research. But when you don't really have the time to do the research and you just kind of wing it, I just wasn't proud of the things that I was delivering whenever I was going live. So every time I was just getting more and more discouraged, I guess, right? Because I want to deliver a good product, but when you have to put a little bit more than turning on a camera and zoom, it was quite a lot, I'll admit. But it's all right. We're moving forward. Things have changed, and I've got a different setup, so. Okay, so let's see. This is Rose Quartz again. I think I'm on the, nope, I'm not done yet with the petal layer. So I think I've got one more stencil layer number 5. Again, just slowly coloring in and building these layers. Just so that I can establish a good foundation for the petals of these roses. There's layer number 5. Stencil layers 4 and 5 have the leaves on them, but on this panel I won't be coloring the leaves. Okay. Thank you again. I really appreciate you all joining me. I think people use tablets to check the chat. I have it on my computer screen, so my camera's right here, and then to my right is the chat. So I am trying to take a peek every once in a while, make sure I'm not missing anything. But if you have questions, please, I am trying to answer them. My keyboard is out of reach right now, so I can't really type anything. But if you have anything, please let me know. Even if you're just tuning in and you've got a question to ask me, please. I certainly welcome it here. And yeah, so I started in 2019 just on Instagram. I was just posting a few pictures of cards. I saw that Instagram was like a different source of inspiration. I tried Pinterest, and I was looking at card examples on there, um, but I really wasn't on social media at the time. So I joined Instagram with the intent of just looking at cards. And then I was like, oh, there's a lot of people, sort of like me. They're just interested, right, and like to craft on their spare time. And so I started posting on Instagram. That was, of course, a lot of fun. And then, um, you know, people like you who have supported me from the beginning asked about a YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, no way. I hate my voice, whatever. Uh, I made whatever excuse I could. And then I was like, you know what? I do know how to do a little bit of video editing. And so posted my first video, and then it just kind of went crazy after that, y'all. I'll admit. Um, I was posting pre-recorded videos. I joined the Altenew team, and I got opportunities I never thought I would have, and the interactions and the people I got to meet are so wild. And now the climate has changed a little bit, right? Like a lot of people like the short format, but then a lot of crafters also like the live format. And I avoided the live because I just wasn't sure. So I really appreciate you joining. Okay, let's see if we've got a workable palette. Okay, so I'm really liking the way that looks. I'm looking at areas of depth and where I could add a little bit more deepness. Do you think Instagram has changed? It seems like the algorithm doesn't offer my cards like they used to. I mean, truthfully, yeah, the climate of social media in general has changed. It's like the work of doing content creation is it's like its own art, right? To engage, right? I think the whole intent with Instagram is to engage. So like reels are really engaging. You have to constantly post, and for me, I just don't constantly post, and it is what it is. Like I can only do so much, and I'd rather post cards that I felt are of inspirational and higher quality, right? Than posting all the time. I don't have that sort of a mindset, I guess, when it comes to that. But man, if I could constantly deliver like and make a card in 30 minutes and post it, and I was proud of it, I would. But this card is probably going to take me, let's see, it's been 30 minutes since I started the live stream about. It'll probably take me another hour. So again, like I really appreciate you all joining me today. And that's why I didn't announce this, because I just wasn't sure how it was gonna go. If it went bad, then I didn't want it to be stuck right here on YouTube that I didn't do a good job. So let's see, what are we looking at now? So I've applied ink, and for those of you who are joining, I've used pink sand and two of the inks from Rose Petal, which was, I'm sorry, one of the inks from Rose Petal, which was Rose Quartz, and then, what was the other one? Rose Quartz and Blushberry Bliss, and I used Blush Rose. And when I made this swatch book, just as a side note about this, is I like to color match, as you saw with my phone. So let me pull it back out. So, oh, not the glare. There we go. I really like to hold up my swatch to a color, and if the edge of the swatch, right? If the edge of the swatch melds and disappears into my phone color palette, or if I hold it up to my screen, my computer screen, then I feel like I have a pretty good close match, and I can use that ink. So that's why when I made this swatch book, this is just a few of the colors. It didn't all fit, so I had to make two. But that's why I do it that way. I know a lot of people do the coin, the circular swatches, and do what works best for you. But for me, this is I like to color match, so this was going to be the best way for me to do it. Oh, hi Mindy, how was your trip? Let me know. It looked fun from what I saw on Instagram. So what am I looking for? So I was gonna grab the Altenew woodless coloring pencils. They have been discontinued. So instead, I'm gonna grab my Faber-Castell. Well, I don't know. What should I do? Maybe. We'll just pull them out for nostalgia's sake. Again, like I mentioned, discontinued. But I guess I'm more familiar with the colors and what I'm looking for on here. And maybe if I can't find the right color, then I will try to switch to something else. So I'm going to try Sicilian Amber on this one. Oh no, I'm going to go out of view, aren't I? And what I'm doing... Sorry, I'm going to go way out of view now. Let me just remove this part here. Overhead. Okay, so I switched the scene. Please let me know if the audio changes again. There we go. With Sicilian Amber, I'm just going to deepen areas where petals overlap each other. I could certainly do this with ink, but I like a little bit of control with a colored pencil. I know, I was about to say, Mindy, like when I saw you were in Wyoming, I was like, well, if you're going to Yellowstone, and I also saw Mount Rushmore, I was like, that is a lot. That is a serious road trip. I think my family, we did Mount Rushmore as one trip, and then Yellowstone as a different one. But it's a beautiful drive. I don't know which side you came up, but if you saw the Tetons in Wyoming, it's just majestic. I lived overseas in Germany, and the Alps, like, just, it's flat, and then suddenly there's just this wall of mountain, you know, like it's crazy. And that's what the Tetons were sort of remind me of. It's just like picture perfect, and just these mountains that are, I don't know how to describe them. I have to go back again soon. But it's so hot. I don't want to go anywhere. It's so freaking hot, guys. Well, good, Mindy. I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad it was. I'm not glad that you're tuckered out, but I'm glad that it was a good time. That you got to do a lot, and thank you for joining me. Of course. It's probably late over there. I think you're an hour ahead. I don't remember. What the time difference is between us is. It's 8:13 here in Denver. How's that looking? Okay. It's looking really brown right now. Let me think a little bit more. Maybe I'll move on to the other petal. I do know I want a deep brown base on this. And nothing crazy with the pencil coloring. It's for me, it's just little swirls. A little more depth towards the base of the petal. And sometimes, like if I get lost in where the color is, sometimes I'll just refer back to the die packaging, or sometimes the stamp packaging, and it'll let me know where to apply color. I did switch off my face screen because I'm out of view right now. I'm sort of like, I was standing, and now I'm sort of like hunched over to color the rose. So I did turn it off. I just wanted to make sure when I switched off my face camera that my audio also didn't cut out. But sounds like it seems to be working. Because all you would see is just the top of my head. So all of these products are on the Altenew website now. The August release just went live. So I just want to make sure that I make that clear that, you know, these products are out already. Let me think a little bit more. I just wanted a little bit more purple. Let me see how I can do that. I'm gonna grab my Faber-Castells in here. I don't know, y'all. Ooh, maybe I'll do a little bit of this somewhere. Is that right? No, I feel like that'll just be not worth the effort. Is this the same color? Kind of. That is good enough. We're gonna do... Oh, I covered it. I think this was Cosmic Berry from the woodless coloring pencils. Again, if you've got this, it is discontinued. Yeah, Cosmic Berry. Which is too bad, because I really liked using this. And of course, you know, the color line for Altenew transcends. So I could always really quickly color match if I liked something in an ink and I had it in a different medium, then I know they would be the same color. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to like not make that brown at the base of these petals so brown. So I'm trying to warm it up a little bit with a little bit of this Cosmic Berry. Right at the base of petals. And these are just things I think about as I color roses for Altenew, or really for anybody, is I do draw a lot of inspiration from my own garden, which I've said many times if you've caught me on lives in different formats and on different platforms. But I think about like how to make roses from the same bush look like, make them look different. But also just to create a very nice and cohesive scene. I'm just like really envious of botanical artists. It's like the dream job for me, a little bit of scientific knowledge, a little bit of, you know, artistic play and composition with portraying plants and roses or flowers and whatever in their native habitat, but also adding your own style into it. And I'm that kind of person, like I really like composition. So aside from realistic coloring, which is what I draw a lot of inspiration from, I do like to also create things that are really interesting to look at. So yeah, that's a lot to think about. I do have a class, by the way, on Altenew Academy called Elements of Floral Composition. I do cover this in a little bit of detail. It has been a few years since I filmed it, so some products are no longer available, but the principles are the same if you all have ever taken it. And I think if you all are certified educators or are in the AECP program, it is one of the courses that you might be required to take or you can take to supplement your courses. So, well, I hope I didn't miss too much. Oh, hi, Vicky. We're going to put my real quick. Anyway, what am I doing? This is Cosmic Berry again. Oh, let me sharpen this. It's not looking great. Oh no. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know about the camera. I think it's my face. I'll test it out later. I think I know what you're talking about. When I switch between the different views, I think my audio isn't linked to all of them. So I'm wearing like one of those portable mics, so just so, because I know I'm really soft-spoken, I just want to make sure that the audio is clear. And again, I'm adding a little bit of Cosmic Berry details to the base to deepen that. I think I'll leave this top rose alone for now. Oh, and what I was saying when I switched over to my face camera, I said, "Hi, Vicky," and then I pointed at the cup that she gifted me. And then I turned it. I was like, "Oh, here, Mindy's on this cup," so I turned it to Mindy. I turned it to Mindy's face. So. Let's see, on this bottom one, I also applied woodless coloring pencil in Sicilian, just like the top rows, but I didn't apply it in such a deep layer. And then this one, I think I will emphasize a little bit more. I'm actually going to do something else with this. So on top of Dusty Pink, I'm gonna apply a little bit more ink. So what do I think I have another reference photo. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna scroll through here. I am pretty sure I only have one other picture of this flower. And I would love to show you all. And I really hope I find it soon. Please come up. Oh, okay, goodness gracious. Right? Like, what color is that in Altenew? I think that's always the question. Oh, hi. Oh my goodness. I really appreciate you all joining. It's so crazy. Again, I didn't announce this. I was really just trying to test what this looks like. So it's so crazy. Thank you for joining. Here's another mature rose photo. So I think I'm drifting more towards this palette here. Oh, and it's been an hour. Again, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna try Jazzberry. Oh, and what was Jazzberry from, Jaycee? Come on. Jazzberry was from Bubblegum Dreams. I'm going to put this on top of, and I don't want to put too much of this either. I'm going to put this on top of, oh, that's a lot. Pink Sand, Dusty Rose, what was it again? Pink Sand. Just to save a little bit of effort. You know what? Where is my detail blending brush? I'm using the detail blending brushes. This is the number 5 size. I'm just grabbing whatever small one I have right now. Is that good? Oh, that's so much better. Okay. Stencil layer number 4. It shouldn't take me long to add all these little details. And this is what, aside from pre-planned videos, this is what you're seeing. This is what I do when it comes to the creative element / process of making cards for my blog or for Instagram mostly. Anything that's like, that doesn't require a tutorial. It's just so much back and forth. It's never as smooth as, hopefully I never make it seem as smooth as it is, because it's not. It takes a lot of effort to come up with the end result, especially one that I'm proud to share on social media. So, and I don't want to put my name on it if I don't like it, you know. I don't want to hide this. This is Jazzberry Fresh Dye Ink. And I want to do this to really just emphasize the shadows at the base of these petals and also distinguish it from the more side-facing rows. Okay. I already have a base layer of pink sand and what was the other one? Rose quartz on this bottom rose. The rose that faces more towards the viewer in this scene. I'll admit right now my garden looks very tired. Again, it's hot here. And as much as I want to try to water everything, it's too hard. um, but yeah, I will admit, like I do take pride in my roses, and I don't know, I just something about fragrant roses I just love. It puts me at ease. So, and I don't know why. I don't know why I like flowers so much. Um, Flowers in tattoos, flowers, you know, in art. Um, I saw a meme or I guess a reel recently where it was like two types of travelers, and one of them was like somebody taking all the photos of native greenery, and that's me. I'll admit, like, I'm just like, oh, this is what this looks like in its native form. Like when I went to Mexico and seeing tropical plants thriving in the atmosphere, and they just struggle to exist in my dry, you know, like desert, tundra, Colorado climate. And then I feel like I'm torturing them here in my house. And then because they look so great, you know, over in the tropics. Let's see. Here we go. What does that look like? Okay, we're getting somewhere. Almost there. And I did work in stencil order. I was just grabbing them from my stack here from top to bottom. So this is the even though this is stencil number 1, this is the last layer for adding in this color. Again, using detail layer or detail blending brush number 5. It's just one of the small ones that I saw in my drawer, so I grabbed it. I hope one day I can get multiples of these, because I do have multiples of the mini ink blending tools. The mini ink blending tool storage holds 40. And I've got them organized in red, violet, red, or red, orange, red, yellow, green, yellow, yellow, green, and all of that. So primary, secondary, and I think that's tertiary colors, just so I don't have to clean them. And I hope to do the same thing with the mini blending brush tools. Do we like that? Does it need more? I don't know. Let me see. I kind of want a little bit more vein details, you know, like in the petals. Let me just fix something real quick. I think it's in this layer. There's like an awkward gap in my stencil. Let me just try to shift it. Or what if I use this? There we go. Okay. Anyway, let's see how to add veining details to this rose. I don't know. Let's use, maybe I'll apply a light layer first of colored pencil and see if I like it. So this is Cosmic Berry, again, from the Woodless Coloring Pencils. I'm just going to add little fine directional strokes to the petals. Do we like that? It looks okay on camera. How did you label? Oh, Mindy. I did this on my Cricut. I'll admit, like, I know Altenew sells the decals that go on top, but I am just more, um, when I look at the colors, how they're organized in my little ink carousel, I think of them more like this. So red, violet, red, orange, yellow, orange. You know, so like in their primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. So this is the other one I have: black, white, rose gold, gold. Is there a gold one? Oh, because I was using the other pigment inks for this one. Embossing. I've done a few like um, embossing through in stencils. Warm gray, cool brown, warm brown, violet, violet blue. And that's really how I think of it. So obviously there's room for expansion if there is ever that opportunity. But I made these on my Cricut. I just did the print and cut feature to make those little decals. So that's how I organize my ink, mini ink blending tools. I'm going to remove this real quick. I just want to be able to rotate this panel. And I'm adding these veining details like towards the base of petals, right? But at the same time, I'm trying to create like a little sense of direction, right? I want the petals to look like they're cupped and they're folding out. So that's what I'm doing here. And again, I really appreciate you, those of you who've joined me for my little impromptu live, unannounced, just tuned in. It really means a lot. And like I mentioned, the blog hop is tomorrow, and I have not made my projects for it yet. So I feel like, you know, I got to go live, introduce the products, felt like I was doing something productive, and test out the live feed and all of that, something I've been meaning to do for a long time. But then also I get to make my projects for my blog hop. So I'll do, of course, a little final reveal. I really hope I get to finish this card within an hour and a half because I don't want to take up too much of your time, especially since my intent was to test out my live feed. But nicer photos will go on my blog, and I've got that linked down in the description box. Again, I'm much more active on Instagram if you've got it. You can find me on Facebook. I'm just not, it's not my thing. I do it because I have to. But otherwise, like, I don't interact on Facebook. So please, if you want to reach out to me, you can either do so on Instagram or on my blog in my contact field. Hi, Ms. Zilski. Thank you for joining me. I mentioned you earlier. I did a little bit of field research on your channel, I'll admit, because I wanted to be like you with your cool little feed. So, yeah, and I love everything you make. And it was just such a joy to watch, of course. I make cards, but I feel like it's not my personality. It's kind of hard to talk and craft at the same time, and to do this whole thing by yourself is such a production. Like, honestly, everybody who's popped in, like, who does content creation full-time, I don't know how you all can do it, because this is hard. This is so hard. And also, I'm just very warm in my craft room. It hasn't cooled down at all. I thought about watercoloring, and I just don't think that was going to happen with how dry it is right now. And I'm a little under the weather still. Let's see. Do we like that? Do I like that? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna pause on that one. I think actually I'll leave that alone. I kind of just like from a distance, like that's it. That's the impression I'm trying to portray is like soft, pillowy, and exactly the rose, the Coco Loco rose that I had before, um, in its true state. So I used Cosmic Berry on this more open rose. I think I'm gonna use something different, maybe something more on the pink side. If I have anything from Altenew, I might not. Oops. So let me go back to my Faber-Castells, see if something fits a little bit better. Let's try this one, maybe. Let's see. And if I don't like it, I could always just stop. Yeah, this is it. Something a little bit more pinky lavender. So, what is this? Middle purple pink. Oh yeah, middle purple pink. Just as I did before, little vein details to help give direction to this petal. I don't want them to look like they're just, you know, flat on the page. Or on the card, I mean. So I'm trying to give them some directional curls to them. Let's see. Where does this one go? I used to do a lot of no outline coloring back in the early days when I was just starting out, and it took so long to do. As much as I enjoyed the process, the time, you know, the time just got shorter and shorter to be able to do that. So whenever I get to do this again, it's sort of like a, I guess like a treat, you know, that I get to set aside the time to do like the coloring that I really enjoyed. Altenew's simple coloring stencils have definitely made it a lot easier to apply base colors, and then I can quickly swipe in some really interesting color. And experiment with color palettes. And thank you, Sean. Is that how you say your name, Sean? Thank you for the feedback, and thank you for joining me. And of course, Miss Zilski, thank you for joining me too. Almost there. And then once this is done, I don't know what will happen once I'm done with this palette. Maybe I'll still fussy cut it, maybe I won't, I'm not sure yet. We'll see, hold on. We will see. Okay, we could keep doing that all day, but I'm just gonna stop myself there. And yeah. So for those of you who are just tuning in just in case, I stamped this outline in permanent mist gray, added a few layers of color, which were dusty pink, rose quartz, and blush rose, and then I added a little bit of jazzberry to the base of this one. And then I used some colored pencils, some of which were from a discontinued Altenew set, and some Faber-Castell as just an equivalent to add some veining details. And now, I think I'm going to attempt to fussy cut this on camera. Um, and I'm just going to cut out the petal elements of this. So I'm using these Tim Holtz ones just because they're a small format. I'm going to trim off all the excess just so that it's less to manage as I'm cutting. And then I'll just fussy cut it out. Luckily this one isn't too, like the petal edges aren't too wavy. It has some fair amount of detail to it. I think that's why I'm really drawn to the Altenew like florals, is because they are obviously illustrations. However, they're not so incredibly detailed that to me they're like not so detailed that they're hard to work with. You know, they span a variety of different skill sets. And I think they're the easiest to teach because inspiration, at least for me, because I garden a little bit, inspiration is really easy to find online for things like this. You know, you can always search for a rose and find a color palette that you like, and then use what you have. And for me, I like to use Altenew's inks to really paint with their products, paint quote unquote, but with inks, and then just add my own twist to it. So love adding details to make them look real, but then it has like sort of my own style and element to it. Right? Is that right? I hope I didn't cut the wrong thing. Yes. Right? Yeah, we're good. Okay. I was like, well, if I cut off a petal, then I cut off a petal, but I did not, so we're all good. It's all right. It's so funny, Kathy and Mindy and we were all in summer camp this past year for Concord and Ninth, so I'm glad you found me. I haven't posted on my personal YouTube channel in a while. I'll admit it's been. I wouldn't be surprised if it has been more than a year. I do post a lot more on the Altenew YouTube channel. I have my own feature on there called Perfect Pairings with Jaycee, which I have been a part of since, how long has it been? I know at least since 2019, but the exact month I'm not so sure. But anyway, that's where I'm a little bit more consistent with posting video content, pre-recorded content. Otherwise, you can interact with me on Instagram. I'm definitely much more active on there. Even though I'm not posting cards, you know, I'm admiring everybody else's posts and I like seeing what everybody else is up to, supporting companies that I have really supported me and given me opportunities to do something vastly different than my full-time job. So, almost done fussy cutting. And it was a good time. I never thought I would sing so much live, but Concord and Ninth summer camp, it's always such a good time. And then, you know, it takes a long time to get there, then we're there and it's so fast, and then it's done, and then I'm home, like back over the Rockies, you know, because they're right over in Salt Lake and I'm here in Denver. And and then it's over, and it's just like, did what just, and you're kind of just like in a daze, like what just happened? But such a good time. Always such a good time. So many good laughs, especially this year. So, okay, there we go. Fussy cut on that. I have a little trick for when I do fussy cut elements. Sometimes you get like little frayed edges. I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine without any dies in it. And that'll help flatten out, that'll help flatten out this panel. So I'm going to do that real quick. When I was at Concord in 9th Sika, she recommended the, what is this one? The brand Griffin. She recommended this. And it has been life-changing for me. Yes, oh my gosh. I thought about wearing my Dude Say Colors shirt today. But I was like, oh, well, maybe we'll save it for another time when I actually announce going live. So, okay, I ran this through my die cutting machine without any dies in it, just to help flatten out the ruffled edges that you get when you die cut. Oh, I'm sorry, when you fussy cut. And then I'm gonna bring this rose cluster back in, and I might cut this back even further to really experiment with different layouts of this bouquet. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. We're gonna see what happens, and if I don't like it, then we'll just put it back. Okay, that doesn't look so bad. I just was afraid that this was gonna look really incomplete if I cut it like it's missing a petal. And let's see. I really like to experiment too with different layouts. Again, like aside from realistic coloring, my other piece of this is composition. I really like to twist up and play with different arrangements of bouquets because, like flowers day by day, as blooms fade and as they go, like you just get to experience different orientations of everything. So I'm going to cut this right there. And I've got the Comfy Cut, I think, blade from Altenew, and I need a straight edge. And I told you, like, it's hot, like I'm sweating now in my craft room, so but we're almost done. And for those of you, I know I've just like slightly mentioned it, but for those of you who joined all of us in camp, it was such an incredible honor and such a treat to be a part of it. And those of you who have been sharing your camp projects on social media, it's been such a treat to look at. So I really appreciate that you all have joined us and also keep sharing your class projects. So let's see. So I've cut apart, I stamped the outline in Obsidian Pigment Ink, this one here, on a die cut piece from Build a Garden Rose Reverie. So this one here. Where are my tweezers? I found them, don't worry. According to my phone, we should have come back. Okay, I think we're back. Y'all, this has been an experiment. um, I'm waiting for the chat to sync up to what I see here in my software, but we should be back, right? And I didn't do anything on the card, so um, anyway, I don't know what happened there, but I'm glad. So it's good to know, at least for me. In hindsight, maybe I'll appreciate that I'm able to know that I can just go back into the stream. So, right? Why can't I see the chat though? Let me see. Oh, okay. Let me. I can't see my chats anymore on my computer. So let me I just want to make sure that I can see what y'all are saying. I don't want to miss anything. Okay. Got my camera. Okay. So back here. Whew, y'all. Kathy, mercury in the microwave. I don't know. Even things at work, I'll be honest. Oh my gosh. It has been a week at work too. Okay. So I've cut apart the roses, even the ones that I've colored. And I'm looking, as I arrange this, I'm like really liking this nice little S curve that I'm getting on here. Something really flowy and such. So I like that. I just don't have a sentiment. So we'll figure that out. That's all right. I'm going to get a panel of white cardstock. Put it right there. I love the thicker version of the Altenew foam tape, so I will use this to raise up both the black outline die cuts as well as the pieces that I just colored with ink and colored pencil. There I am. Okay. Also, I'm about to run out of my card bases. I've been using the 110, I think, pound Nina Solar White. Can you all let me know what your favorites are in the chat? And I'll go back and, I'd love to see what everybody is using. There we go. And then I kind of nudge this here. More foam tape. All right, before I adhere that permanently, I'm going to add splatter to this. So I've got my jet black ink spray, my water brush that I dedicate solely to adding black splatter, because I don't want to add the black splatter to the no outline roses. So just to really fill in the space in the background. I've said this many times, like on various lives. I like to add splatter because I think it helps break up the really intentional curves and really intentional shapes that I like to add to cards. Just to help disperse that, right? It's like balance with perfect and imperfect. So that's why I like doing that. And then on top of this, I'll add the colored roses. Oops. There's one. Here's the other. I'm going to have to investigate how to see. I've lost the chat on OBS, but I can see it on my phone. So, but my phone turns off and then I can't see anything. Let me pull this higher. Maybe I can see it then. Right. There. Now, I'll take the pure white ink spray and this is what I want to put on top of the roses. I really like pure white ink spray because it's like not as intense as like a white gouache, for example, and I feel like it doesn't hide all the efforts that I put into putting all of this meticulous detail. So just something like really, really soft, right? It just needs a sentiment. I just don't know what sentiment to put. Do I want to stamp one? Do I want to make a banner? I don't know. I thought I had some pre-cut ones. We'll just stamp it. We're almost there anyway. I'll take it from the same stamp set, because why not? And I think I'll use this Grateful for You. Breaking out the stamp wheel just to quickly get this positioned on here. And I'll stamp that in Obsidian Pigment Ink as well. As we wrap this up, let's see, I started at 7:30, 8:30. It's been about, is that an hour and a half? Oh my gosh, I just like completely lost track of time. But I mean, honestly, and seriously, thank you for joining me today. It is, or this evening at least, if you're in the States. I know those of you who are on the East Coast, it is now 11 o'clock. So I'm just so grateful that you all have joined in my little test live to see how this works. And man, it has been a learning curve, right? All the mishaps today, but that's all right. You know what? It's just the internet. It is not that serious. Oh my goodness. Almost there. Oh my goodness, Miss Dana, you are also still awake? It is so late. It's even late for me. That's all right. But thank you. Thank you for joining me. And let's see. I'm going to cut this out. I keep this Spellbinders die close by. I forget. It was like a holiday sentiment strip set for the Glimmer system, but it's like the perfect die. Christina's Essentials from Concord and Ninth are the same way. This sort of what is this? Banner die. And I just like to use this to get those nice die cut edges on pieces like this. So I will cut this out. almost there. Almost, almost. And then once I get this partial cut, because I don't know, I'm a little neurotic with this stuff, then I actually turn it around and just try to get like a partial cut so that I get the nice little die cut edge as well on the other side. Like that. Right? Looks good. It's fine. And where does that look good? There? Here? I think I like there. Okay. We will add more foam tape to the back of that. Which one do I want to use? I'll use the narrower, but still the, what is this? 1/8 inch thick? Yeah. Foam tape to raise this up. Is that it? What is that, an hour and a half, 2 hours later? Oh, goodness. We're done. This is it. Yeah, this is my card, again, using Build a Garden Rose Reverie. I don't know how to end this stream. So, again, oh, let me look at the chat real quick. I just want to make sure if you didn't ask any questions. Oh my gosh, I missed a lot. Oh, hi everybody. I'm so excited you all joined. Okay, 110 solar white 2. Thank you. Thank you for that. Finally got myself hammer mill for foiling. Oh, I have heard about the hammer mill one. I need to look out more for that one. Oh my gosh, just all the camp counselors. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say. I really appreciate you guys joining. Oh, Dudes Craft 2. Hey, Manly Made Minute. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you again for all of you who are staying up so late to watch this this impromptu meeting. I hope my next one isn't so long, because again, I didn't plan for this one, right? I wanted, as much as these technical issues, you know, I understand they happen. It's just again, like I've said so many times this evening, thank you for joining me. We'll see if I do this, you know, live on my own session. Maybe next Wednesday seemed to be the best date for me, just because it's my off day from the gym. It's the middle of the week, and I usually can get home consistently on Wednesdays from work. Like, even though I'm hourly, sometimes I don't get home on time. But yeah. Anyway, oh, no sound again. Oh, you know why? I'm sorry, y'all. It's the face camera when I put on the front camera. But yeah, I'll end the stream. You'll see photos of this on my blog tomorrow. But otherwise, I'll catch you all at a different time. And yeah, contact me on Instagram if you follow me on Instagram, or just DM me. Let me know how this went, and if you have any feedback for me, please let me know in the chat as well. I'll be reading through. So okay. Anyway, goodness, good night. Love y'all. Stay safe, and catch you next time. Thank you.